Tak, vidím, že nic nevidíte, ale to je v pořádku, protože vy tady teď nemáte nic vidět. Ale řečeno, bylo by dobrý, byste viděli. A takhle je to. Jsem trošku pozměnil nastavení, takže teď už je to tam v cajku. Jsem se rozhodl, že si teď po velmi lehké snídani zahraju zase něco trošku jiného, abych si trošičku oddech od určitého stereotypu. Co se týče hry, který teď hraju. Disco Elysium. Určitě znáte všichni. Skvělá hra. Až na to, že vůbec nevím, kde jsem skončil. Rezavé v pušky.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. An old Bell McGrave rifle, Revolutionary era, prized for its reliability more than its accuracy. The rest are probably Bell McGraves too, just too damaged to be sure.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Já tady ještě udělám malou změnu. Jen kvůli tomu, aby, páč mám dojem, že to teďko nemusí být. Teď by to snad mohlo vypadat líp, uvidíme, jestli se něco změní. Nezměnilo. Zajímavá situace. Už to nechám takhle a doufám, že ten malý náhled, který tady mám vlevo, kde ty písmenka nejsou úplně ideální, takže je to jenom tím, že je to zkomprimovaný do menšího.
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Takže mám lintu. Bonus z předmětu. Drama -1. To je v pytli tohle. Hlava. Mám nevybavenou hlavu. Pravá ruka. Náboje nemám. Kde je teda ta puška, kterou jsem teď sebral? Psycha. Potřebuji pořádně vypsíchovat. Tady mám jenom jeden bod. Normálně tady můj... Dá se tam něco přidávat? Teď asi ne, co? Teď ne, no. Moje postava se brzo zhroutí. Co je tohle? Jo, to jsou koly. Jasně. Co jde? Psychika 1. Fyzička -1. Jo. Aktivní. To je aktivních, je tolik, jo. Dobře, no a co teď ale? To je ta věc.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar.
To se dalo čekat.
The pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it up. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will... Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring you.
Skvělý.
In the distance, you hear water dripping. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
To bude zase průšvih nějaký, dá se to uložit. Dá, dokonce rychle uložit. Tak je to dobrý.
Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
Jo, přesně, jo. Ano.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say an electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
To je výborný. Dobře, a teď ho chci vidět, jo. Jo, pozor, on je to vlastně tadyhle nástroje, oblečení, předměty. Jo, já jsem to jako interakce jasný už jsem doma. Interkom do jističové skříně, takže co znamená, my jsme odpojili interkom. To je zajímavý. Mě zajímalo, už se nepamatuji, odkud jsem tam přišel. Odsaď.
Both cables are unplugged from the breaker box. Somewhere, a machine hums a...
Yes?
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles. Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Your heart beats twice like a fist. The serotonin deficiency makes your teeth clench. The lieutenant blinks, his mouth slightly open and his body motionless. A microsecond passes.
Excuse me, I was lecturing you. I shouldn't have. You should consult a medical professional if you feel that you need help. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's right. Good.
Byli. Počkej, je tam ještě nějaký vchod? Za tou zástěrou, ne? Nebo východ, nebo... Asi ne.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly. The bear's eyes are a friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
As she makes her way to the market stall, the girl starts crying. A ferocious ice bear is guarding the fridge, its paws raised toward her. Mother rushes to soothe her, but
I know. What an unfortunate market. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and the
Tak tady jsme to moc nezjistili teda.
tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those radio frequencies, it seems, UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station. Looks like a surveillance program. They must have had massive airwaves. These things don't come cheap. Whoever decides to call in to a call, looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Il Mara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God, it's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Co pak, je to žlutý? Tohle nevím, co je. Co to bylo za hluk? Jo, to jsou ty dveře, tam nejdu, už jsme tam byli.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkin, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Přesně tak.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. Just look at those details. So much effort.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses, and you see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world. As this is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money."
Yeah.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but as time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120. Equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible, the machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine, it's empty like a beehive without its brood. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no, it was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably the static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1.
This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a switchboard somewhere.
Něco jako já.
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? The filament you have inserted into the reader. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core? Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Still no. Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Good. Please repeat the password.
To byla chyba.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up.
Fortress Accident. Thank you and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoke. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
Vypadá, že tam už víc nevyzkoumáme.
Yes? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, And a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seol is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seol. I'm a regular Revacholière.
A point of pride to him.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to smash through that back door.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Bych měl udělat pro své zdraví. Aha. Tak takhle je to jednoduchý. No tak to jo, to je dobrý. Jdeme teda asi, no. Nejde? Nebo jako jak? To byla ta babizna, co nás nechtěla pustit dovnitř.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do.
Note, reading about Dick Mullen would not actually make you. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresent. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from it. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardship. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found? You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of a killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. Oh no, turns out he fated to solve a case. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly... The plaque on the shelf reads, biographies of famous...
Baterku bych mohl zhasnout, ne?
None of which ring a bell.
Počkej, to je... Ne? Aha, nemůžu, tak... Dobře.
You will attain a place on this shelf one day, or die.
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of a very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed my... Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound Houdon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coles. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the... No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the... This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also...
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up Like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers? Oh no!
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health service. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre- and post-factum apply. Nothing worth buying. Amidst the various books, you find these three things are the point of the book, and various paranatural
Já musím schovat tu baterku, je to hrozný, nevedne svítit. Si vybiju baterku.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game. Braubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
An endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled, There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Chatu. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says, Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel, that price is steep. But then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense. An endless variety of source books, law books. There's also a large books in a board game section. There's a box. That price is steep.
Wonderful choice, sir. If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
Bude vypadat, ty vado, jak kdybych to tam přišel vyloupit, když třeba jo. Já nevím, tady už asi nic.
The display rack is brimming with worn paper.
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A very popular series of adventure novels. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, the Man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction. Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
Rows and rows of Hiamdalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles, maybe 100. Man from those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from between the throne and the Heimdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of it's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of man from...
It is a bestseller for a reason.
No, tak máme co číst. Tyjo, tady taky, jo. Kniha o paštice. Je tlačítko interakce v inventáři.
Whoa, what have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation.
True, they never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Relashol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about.
Tak.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you.
A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expression. That isn't a fresh paint smell coming from the wall. She's using heavy, red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea.
I ain't no snitch.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish feature. The woman on the boat does not notice her stare.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents used to posh restaurants and ups.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes.
Jo, to je ukazatel.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Baton, my maiden name. I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Už je tady. Už je tady. Jak zjistí, že něco jim, neomylně přichází. Tak stačí.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
And how are the talks going?
Díky. Kafíko jde pak. Já mám na konce týdne dovolenou.
That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Je tady v obdivu, jsem koupil v Albertu jogurt Bifido bílý. A on je tak dobrý. Tenhle týden.
She just admitted that the lynching and the
Včera jsem byl v Praze něco vyřizovat. Předevčírem jsem nehrál. Z toho jsem navštívil jednu zdejší restauraci. Sakra, tady jako ty je dobrý. Pytle. To jsem od něj nečekal vůbec.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Oh, so you've met him. Has he regaled you with his inane theories?
My colleague has his peculiarities. Let's not go into this particular one just yet.
Of course. To each their own? Yes, I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
Říkám, mě šimrá frňák.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Jo, se musím odskočit. Prosím tě, tato hra je kecací a hádanková, si myslím, protože to začíná tím, že se probereš v hotelovém pokoji po šílený opici, ale totálně jako kocovina, ale taková, že nevíš, kde seš, kdo seš, proč tam seš, nevíš nic, vůbec nic. A postupně prostě zjišťuješ, že seš zřejmě detektiv, který tam má vyřešit vraždu, protože za barákem na stromě visí už týden mrtvola A to je všechno, co vlastně... Jo, a teď postupně prostě procházíš tou lokalitou, potkáváš se s lidma, zjišťuješ věci a tak nějak, no. Naštěstí k tomu nějaký dobrotinec udělal český titulky, protože bez toho by to vůbec, nebo já bych to bez toho nedal. A je to, ty texty, když to pak čteš tady, jo, prostě to povídání jsou fakt velmi často velmi vtipný prostě. A takový jako ten, kdo psal ten scénář, tak uměl psát a napsal to velmi dobře prostě, takhle bych to shrnul.
Yes, extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union. Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about...
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
Jo. Já vůbec nevím, jako co bude dál. Jako já jsem to hrál jako chvíli nějak, víceméně, hele, den první 17 hodin 17 minut, no.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemable... Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid... And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Bizarre.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the Union's files. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else? Of course, detective.
Hej, počkej ještě. Jsem zvědavej, co bude dál, jo, protože... Aha. Tudy jsme nepřišli.
On the side of an apartment building. Blank, conveying nothing. Because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft.
Krásný.
Oh, wall father.
Oh, father.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
Sure. If you must.
Bych nějakou, ale dá se tam projít někde ještě tadyhle takhle? Asi člověče, hele, možná jo. Jo, tady visí ta mrtvola, jasný, to už jsme za tím dvorkem, to je dobrý místo, tady to bude dobrý. Jasně. Hele, dverže.
There must be another way into the building.
Sakra, to má ale urvalo ucho.
It's been a week and now they show up?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some. The door is slick with rain. You don't hear any movement inside. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
Napnutej jak struna.
I guess no one is in?
You're pretty sure the owner of the apartment isn't here. It's safe-ish. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully no one heard.
To je ďábelský.
There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. There might be important information in the apartment.
No jasně.
The open door. You can feel the air moving. A little draft. A whistle.
What? Uložit? Nebo už jsem mrtvý? To si bude vařit druhý jogurt. Takhle jako. Já jsem totiž dlouho neměl jogurt. Jsem se nekoupil. Dneska jsem si na to vzpomněl včas. Doháním, co jsem zameškal. Ušilé. Výborně. Kradem tady. Aha. To je stopa.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means the lieutenant does not bow to the flag. It accepts your salute with quiet dignity. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man, a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. Of course, you slippery bastard. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Norčí, ten se hodí. Tady už to víc není pro zkoumání. Takže ne. Je kuřák nahoře, sakra. No, nevidím.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Looking for any trouble, officer?
No. To je zvláštní.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
To si udělej, jasný. Já se ho podívat a s ním jogurt asi.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare. Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
Absolution? I don't know that brand, but I'm pretty sure you can get Astras at the Frit. I'm not sure that's a good idea. As you wish. Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
There's something about the way he carries himself. Something enviable, mysterious, attractive.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
Teda to jsem si dal.
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
It'll take more than rain to bring this place back to life.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How intriguing. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, the neighboring windows are streaked with rain. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
Occasionally. Why? No. I just like to look good. Trust me, I'm not a team player. My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Once we've found a way in, we can ask around for his apartment. Must be another way into the building.
Sem, co je to tady?
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of... There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. We'll just have to go in and see.
Okay.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, Number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. What are you doing? You need to get your...
Ale teď mám pořádný ty, ne? Kleště. Kurník. Jo, tam teď nemůžu, jo. Na co mám teda potom ty? Tohle v ruce. Jo, to jsou štípačky. Já myslím, že to jsou pořádný.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoes. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get in.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any.
Hola, kde jsme? A to je člověk.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But yeah, you got me now. The dynamic between us has completely changed. What for? But boring. You're not using my lovely brush to spread boredom. What do you think I'm trying to paint here? A mural for a better tomorrow? Why, well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off. You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give... Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's...
Actually, there is a shortage of people who...
We weren't put on this earth to make... What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Or what? You'll push me off this ledge and pry the bucket from my dead hands?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult. The woman on the boat does...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago. 2 days...
On a first-name basis with her. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
You don't have the skills to execute something like this in practice. But, oh boy, the idea's going to blow her fucking mind. She squints her eyes.
On fire. I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that. Didn't we all? I like your idea. Should have thought of it myself. I don't need... Then get your brush.
Oops, my apologies. You're a police officer and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her? Maybe try a different approach.
Ooh, police brutality. That's the good stuff.
How come you're letting this baby rat run circles around you? End this now.
Have you got any kids? Because you sound... But fine, take the brush.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. That beautiful wall deserves nothing less.
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to contain your artistic impulses, but please, leave my kinema out of it.
Why does art inspire you so much? As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they... Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange. A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged... She had an eye for beauty. What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remained. Indeed.
Jdeme si být všude tady. Je.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle snaps like a twig.
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with Razmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. The White Star, the photos on the...
Tak já nevím. Jak jsem se zasek asi. Už se zase chvíli. Tam už jsem byl. Počkej. Tu baterku skováme, asi ne. Jde taky. To je hezký, sice tam něco je, ale co mi to platníš. Nevím, kudy tam.
An old monument stands in the middle of the...
Mám takový dojem, že je tady se mnou konec.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of as you tap on the gauge.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going alternative translation. Don't even think you...
G'day to you, officers.
A burly carving up a generous serving of...
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey...
Very good stuff. I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory.
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assault. Streetlights like this one were part of a renovation effort a few decades back. Sadly, the effort was abandoned before it was completed, and so these lights still illuminate.
Yes, officer. As you...
His manner is casual, but his...
It was brought to me to be old.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every
The light has been removed, and...
The most important transform...
Okay, that checks out. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a...
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. There's been a lot of...
He doesn't elaborate on these.
I've heard about it.
Yes, there are several. The headless 57...
He lost his cap when he lost his...
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it. It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my... What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he...
I haven't had any problem.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through. As you can see, I have a selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps...
Jak jsem se tady zasek.
He's well composed, but underneath it, entertained. He might be high. If he is, on what? feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
How would I know? Prolodon is just something you know, I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radio.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to one.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle deconstruction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment.
I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knick-knack. He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Míšuláku!
Here you go, man.
Tohle je kocouří ocásek. On jsem přišel zase přišel strkat čumákem do myši. Myslníku, ty jsi vyrost, ty kocoure jeden. To je neskutečný, jak jsi obrovský najednou. Jo, a umřu.
I respect your decision, officer. What else can I help you with? Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Ty jsi velikánský kocourisko. Víš co, tak já to tady vypnu zase. A budeme se chvilku spolu tady bavit, jo? Tak jo, ale už to tady hraju 2 hodiny, tak si dáme přestávku. Spolu se tady pomazlíme kocoure, jo? A pak se uvidí. Tak jo. Tak příště. Zduř. Ovšem dostat se s tím kurzorem semdle, to už chtělo velkou obratnost, viď? Když mi tady ležíš na pravý ruce. Tak ahoj. Příště zase.